Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another exciting Minecraft discussion. And yes, it's April, and yes, there's still snow. There's little G right there. He found a stick. He likes that. So we're kind of way back there. It's very cool. Little patch of grass deceiving. Anyway, so my name is Kimberly Quinn. There's little Giovanni, and we are your hosts and hostess with the most and mostest, and to have this discussion today. And so today I really wanted to talk about kind of wisdom. Really, I want to talk about wisdom, and it's interesting because just recently with my cognitive psych students, which was, I think we're having this talk just last week, actually, maybe 2 weeks ago, what the difference is between knowledge and wisdom, because there's a definite difference. And pretty right away they came up with that beautiful beaver pond back there, huh? It's starting to melt. Right away they came up with knowledge is, they said books and libraries and information and facts and all kinds of things like that, and how you can acquire it and store it, and whereas wisdom, we certainly acquire it and store it in long-term memory, right? But they kind of were tiptoeing like it has to do with age, and then I said, can a 4-year-old be wise? And they said, well, yeah, especially if it involves creativity, because that actually can sadly get lost later, which I thought was a really good answer. I was kind of very proud of them for critically thinking about that, because mostly I think we think of Yoda, and my dear friend Dr. Dave, that's his nickname, and it fits as the wisdom conversation for sure. He oozes wisdom out of every pore. We think of older people often because my students kept getting back, my Cog Psych students, there's a lot of overlap there though, so they kind of both. That life experience is a lot of it. And here's the other thing. You know, Wayne Dyer brings up a good point, because wisdom is not just one descriptor for wisdom, right? Wisdom is largely also about thought selection, because we don't always get that till we're in our midlife, and maybe we're in the late fall of our life, the early winter of our life, that sort of thing. Because it's wisdom, one big, huge, gigantic component to wisdom is thought selection and knowing. First of all, to have the awareness of knowing which thoughts to keep and then following through with it. And we're talking about thoughts that make you stronger, not weaker. So acknowledging that, okay, this thought is okay to come in and sit on the metaphorical couch in my metaphorical living room, which is my mind, and put their metaphorical feet up on my metaphorical coffee table and help themselves to a metaphorical snack, right? So that's what we're talking about. I'm up on a big rock right now. Hold tight. Okay. So that's a big part of wisdom, because if we allow ourselves to focus on what's missing, it's a huge stick, and in our lives, and then we start talking about it with people, we are going to just attract. I'm inspired by Wayne Dyer today. So they are, the great thinkers are saying the same thing. So a wise person is going to acknowledge, and we're saying nobody's perfect, so we're going to say the high majority of time, the wise person is going to become aware pretty quickly of this thought, cycle isn't working, or if we sort of encounter a bunch of negative Nellies, we get out of dodge of that real fast. We're not talking about, a best friend whose heart's broken, having a heart-to-heart with you and the real deal. No, we're talking about all the petty crap that goes on all day. So you land yourself in a bunch of negative Nellies, beam me up, Scotty. The wise person is going to know to beam themselves up and get out of there. Any honest excuse, reason, if nothing else, just head to the bathroom. Nobody can say anything about that. Let's see if Giovanni sees something. I felt like he did, but maybe he didn't. Let's go this way. Come on, G. Come on, Giovanni. And so it's about sort of having that awareness and then knowing to just what to do with it. It's really, really, really huge. So yeah, Giovanni saw a cross-country skier though. Good for them. It's a gorgeous bluebird of a day. There's just, they must be walking in between. It's just kind of like typical spring skiing weather. It's like patches of grass, lots of snow, small patch. Good for them. So anyway, all right, so you're talking about the wise person being really good at thought selection. We didn't say perfect, we said really, really good, because we become hyper aware of, okay, that's not working for me, it's not going anywhere. And they're also aware that negative emotion leads to negative experiences. That's just how it works. And also positive emotion leads to positive experience, and that's how it works. And so the wise person has really, really, really gotten sort of incredibly good at that. The wise person also knows not to focus on what is going on in their lives currently unless it's really worth it. Just kind of like what we're saying. So here was Wayne Dyer's example, and he talks about the cold thing sometimes. So let's say somebody has a cold, and so they're saying, "Oh, I have a sniffle today. It's Sunday. I have a sniffle today. Tomorrow I'll probably have Monday I'll probably have a fever. Tomorrow's Monday I'll probably have a fever. By Tuesday, it'll definitely be in my throat, and by Thursday, and then Wednesday it'll be in my lungs, and I'll definitely have a really intense cough by Friday. So Saturday I better plan not to go in for my second job, or if it's Thursday, I better call in sick now. I mean, it's only got 5 days, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna be really super sick by Friday. I mean, think about that. That's nuts. The wise person is gonna know that the best way to deal with a cold is hot tea and chicken noodle soup, and then stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Telling everybody in the world you have a cold, and it just lingers and keeps it going. Like, that's just established facts. Because what the neurons that wire together, they fire together, and we just keep that going. And that we know that's true with big illnesses too. That was just with the common cold. But people just heal better when they shift out of that negative mindset. We know that to be true for a fact. So we do want to focus on what is, when we are in that place of gratitude, even if the job or the relationship or the house or whatever it is isn't ideal. Maybe it's even far from ideal. But when we focus on the isness, the present momentness of something that's going well with it, the relationship or the job, maybe you don't like it a lot, but you like the flexibility it has, or maybe there's no flexibility, very little flexibility, but you really like the people, or you like the drive, or you have no drive and you like that, or whatever, to really focus on that, then that's the wise person knows that that's how to open the door to manifest the next move that's going to be even better. The wise person also knows that life is constantly unfolding in a way that's best for us. It's a tough sell when we're going through the mud. And there's a breakup, or you get fired, or when I say fired, I mean like you did something, layoffs, cutback, whatever. When a relationship went south on you, whatever, it's a really tough sell then. However, the wise person knows that it all unfolds the way it's meant to unfold, and that life is always, always, always working out for us. The wise person also knows the power of intention. The power of intention. The wise person most likely gets up early in the morning too, and gets all this together. The wise person knows when we exist in gratitude, that's the master key to happiness, and that's how it all happens. They also know the power of intention with gratitude, and with how important it is to believe it if you're going to see it. It's sort of backwards from what most people think. I'll believe it when I see it. No, I'll see it when I really, 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 really believe it. As in, you got both feet in the pool, or the beaver pond, as they say, and really envisioning not just envisioning, but actually feeling the feeling of that relationship, not with an outcome, not picturing this, Barbie doll, Ken doll, a mix of Barbie and Ken, whatever, that's this ideal person, because just picturing the feeling of being that love and being that love magnet. And if it's the promotion or it's the entrepreneurial thing, to feel what that freedom is like, and feel what it's really like to be in that next step. If you want to be a leader, you're a natural leader, and to feel like now you have people not under you per se, but who report to you. That's a better way to say, because we don't mean under, we mean working with, but we mean you're in charge. I was trying to figure out a way to say that right. But you feel what it's like to be that leader who you've always wanted to be, because the wise person knows that. They know that they've got to envision it, and then actually slide into this meditative place of actually feeling it in order for all of that to manifest. And all of that goes back to the brain. What's in the cabeza? 100% starts here, right? We've talked about that before. Think about it. Thoughts first, feelings second, actions or behavior last. We cannot do anything without thinking it first, even if those thoughts are primarily unconscious. That's where it all starts. So wisdom, yes, it's all about the thought control. The wise person is a mind craft warrior, And they get that they're the gatekeepers of their own mind, and that they're also very present moment oriented. They also realize that, and like we're talking about with the thought selection thing, and this would be included in that, they know better than to reside in the past, because they know that old memories are attached to old emotions, and they know that if they allow those to surface, that the old emotion attached to those comes with them, kind of like a barnacle on your ass. It just kind of, on the ass of the memory just comes back, and then all of a sudden that thing from 2004 is right back, and like, how come I feel regretful and guilty or whatever? Well, because you brought the memory, you pulled it off the shelf, you opened it up. It's kind of like opening a bad file on a computer. You just opened it up to all the viruses, and like, what are you doing? So the wise person gets that. The wise person gets all of it. The wise person understands that it's best to leave that where it is, and it was Helen Watts, Wayne Dyer talks about, with the whole analogy of the boat and the wakes, but you're driving in a speedboat forward, right? And forward with energy, lots of energy. And what's behind the boat is a wake. It's just a wake behind you. And that wake is just all the life you've already lived, all those life minutes that have brought you to where you are now and created all that wisdom of where you are now, right? And it's behind you. That's the key point of the whole metaphor picture, is it's behind you. So what's in front of you? Answer everything. Everything you could possibly desire is in front of you. What's driving the boat? Present moment energy. Present moment energy is driving the boat. And the wise person knows that. And again, the wise person resides in gratitude. Okay, there we go. What wisdom is and how it differs from knowledge. This is Kimberly Quinn and Giovanni. There he goes, with this gorgeousness behind us. So we are signing off from the Notch in northern Vermont. Now, this is Beaver Pond number 2, actually. That's like a little hot tub to it. Like, that's like the big pool. That's like the little hot tub. Actually, it's cold, but you know what I'm saying. You get the whole thing. Anyway, have a mindful day.